Today at the University of Miami, it's all about the U. But it wasn't always that way. Since the university opened in 1926, the logo has had a number of different looks. But in 1973, the athletic department rolled out something new: the split U. But the now iconic logo almost didn't last. Just 6 years after it was introduced, then President Henry King Stanford wanted to replace the split U. Students rallied to save the U, and they won. And in the 1980s and 90s, winning became the norm for the football program, energizing the UM campus and bringing in some of the nation's best athletes.
I mean, it was such a great time that we didn't just think we were going to win games. We knew we were going to win games. And even when the team got down, we knew we were coming back.
But while the football players sported the split U on their helmets, it wasn't a part of their identity.
At the time, we were Miami. We were the Canes, and we weren't quite the U yet.
That all changed in 1992 when number 2 ranked Miami took on arch rival number 3 ranked Florida State. During that game, one UM cheerleader did something that helped turn UM into the U.
Bill Tagano had come up with the idea of, Florida State's got the chop and the Gators have the chomp. Well, why don't we do something with our hands for the U?
And so, the Hand U was born.
We went to the band director, I think it was Mike Mann at the time, and we said, what do you think about playing the Darth Vader theme on third downs?
Da, 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 da.
We started pairing it with the motion of the U, the doing this.
And it was almost like a bowing kind of thing, that they were bowing to the defense.
The minute we started doing it, it just picked right up.
And you could tell it was the start of something that was going to be really cool.
Though that 1992 FSU game is widely credited with popularizing the gesture, its origin story is still disputed. In this photo taken a year earlier, cheerleader Eric Vandervloot is seen throwing up the U to fans at the 1991 Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, that picture, I know you can tell it's me because then I had hair and I had a flat top. That was one of the times we were just, standing up, between something going on, and I was holding up the U.
But one UM fan argues he had thrown up the U years earlier.
When I read a story in the university paper about Tagano being the first one to throw it in 92 or 93, I think it was, I was like, wait a minute. I did this in 1984 at an FSU game.
Juan Valadares was a UM student at the time. He says that he came up with the gesture sitting in the stands at the Orange Bowl with his friends.
And I remember Juan turning around and saying to us that we need something else to do, and he showed us the U symbol. And so when we were chanting, we started doing that.
But members of the 92 cheer squad are not buying it.
A lot of theories that it could have came from somewhere else.
What makes you so certain? That is BS.
This is something that a lot of people try to take credit for, but you have it in your LinkedIn. You are the creator of the Hand U. Why do you feel so?
We got the receipts, we got the pictures, we got the witnesses, we got the backing.
I've seen hundreds of photos from that era, from the 80s, mid 80s to late 80s, and you just don't see it as, now you take a picture of the stands and there are 50 people doing it.
But maybe they've been looking in the wrong place. In this CBS broadcast of the 1987 UM at FSU game, you can see a male cheerleader throwing up the U.
That particular game, because it was Miami FSU, and I remember being in the end zone, and I remember knowing that the cameras were coming, and I remember wanting to throw up the U to represent Miami.
So what made him do it?
It came from feeling like we needed to have something that was uniquely ours, and feeling like we got some canes over here, whoosh whoosh, was not enough. That was not. We were looking to have something that when you looked up in the stands, that you would see something that was special.
But did students start that special sign even earlier? In 1979, the UM student newspaper, the Miami Hurricane, reported that students would hold their thumbs and index fingers in the shape of a U during cheers. The gesture didn't catch on right away, though. In fact, not even the original Sebastian the Ibis knew about it.
I don't really recall it, and you know, because that would have been something I think that Sebastian would have taken as his own, and I don't ever recall doing it that early.
So if Sebastian the Ibis doesn't know who started it, does anyone?
Who exactly created it? I don't know exactly, but I do know who used it a lot. And there was these two guys that they never were quiet.
And those guys were Chaikin and
Chaikin and Val Henry specifically, like I have it right here in my head, I remember specifically.
In college, Mark Chaikin and fellow cheerleader Val Henry were inseparable.
Tell me about Val.
Oh gosh. Val is an extraordinary person.
Chaikin recruited Val Henry to the cheer team during their freshman year, and they did everything together and stayed friends long after graduation. Until Val passed away unexpectedly in 2017. He was 51.
Not a day goes by that I don't think about him. But I miss him a great deal. Think about all the times that I had with him, and you know, I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Some people suggest that Val Henry may be the true creator of the hand cue, but he isn't around anymore to tell the story. John Ruth looks at the mystery a different way.
Does it really matter where it started? Maybe not.
And it was surprising marketing research in 2008 that really sealed the deal when then-President Donna Shalala was thinking of rebranding the university.
They came to see me and they said, "You will not believe this, but the only thing anyone recognizes is the U." And so we decided that we should use it across the university.
Almost 40 years after its introduction in the athletics department, the split U became the entire university's official logo.
When you say the U, everybody knows who you're talking about. You're not talking about Michigan. You're not talking about Nebraska or Ohio State. You're talking about the University of Miami, the U.
And it's been all about the U, ever since.
The early 2000s, the hand gesture really took off. And it wasn't just something that was done at games. It was now when students saw each other on campus, or if you were, you know, in Atlanta and you saw another Hurricane fan, it's all about the U.
When I walk around with this sweatshirt, I'm in Washington now, everybody throws up the U. Whether or not they went to the University of Miami, they throw up the U.
To me, it means we're not going anywhere. We're here. You know, we're here.
It gives us something unique to bond us.
It's just how to identify a fellow family member in the crowd.
Anytime like you get together with another Hurricane, you're gonna probably take a picture with the U. It doesn't make a difference where you're from on the planet. We're connected by the U.